Yo, what's going on? Oh my Ange, we're live.
Proper live.
We're proper live. The season 2, episode number 6.
Yeah.
And today,
at 12:12.
At 12:12.
On Monday.
On Monday, not a Tuesday anymore. So if you're watching us on Tuesday, we've moved to a Monday. Or if you're listening to us on a Thursday, that's because the podcast just come out. So make sure you drop in a nice review, 5-star review, listen on the podcast. Drop some comments. Got any questions about I'm quite excited about this. Actually, nice to meet you, Rupi.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is fun. This is cool.
So today we're going to talk about young entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And we thought tying in really, we got the GCSE results coming out next week, A-levels this week.
Yes, that's right. A-levels on Thursday.
And you're the business enterprise manager,
Yes,
have I got that right?
Yeah.
At Peter Jones Enterprise Business Academy?
No, not
Oh
business,
my
but
God, I was doing
Enterprise
so well. Introduce yourself, Rupi.
Yeah, so I'm Rupinder Drew and I work at the Peter Jones Enterprise Academy at Leicester College. And I've been there for about 10 years working with young entrepreneurs.
Wow.
It's brilliant.
And this is the same Peter Jones that's on Dragon's Den,
Yes.
BBC 2, if you're in the UK.
The one and the same.
Yeah.
He sort of developed the qualifications about 15 years ago, because he really believes that entrepreneurs are not born as entrepreneurs, that they are made. You can teach yourself. So we basically run, a level 3 course in enterprise entrepreneurship. So it's all about learning to run your own business.
Wow.
Such a great idea.
It is a great idea. You know what? And as we're talking, and I'm just thinking back to 10 years ago when I got my GCSE results as well.
Right.
It was the 5th time. Give me a break. And I remember. It was just nervy. I didn't really know. I didn't get great results, but I just didn't really know what to do in my life, and I really wish there'd been. There may have been, I don't know, but obviously, I think with social media is quite cool because you hear about things more often now.
Yeah.
And I just remember being what am I going to do? And I picked that. So I actually went back and did my GCSEs again. Didn't do great, and then went to college, and it was more like a foundation in electronics and computers, and at the end of that you could choose which direction you went into. So I chose martial arts out of those two. So I was in work then in normal whatever, which I knew wasn't for me. I didn't know wasn't for me. I just didn't know any better. So it wasn't until I was 30 that I took this big change in direction. So I think this is a great course for.
So I'm curious, because obviously you are expressing the struggles not only that are very familiar to yourself, but many young people experience the same thing. It's not just for you. So the course and the idea that was developed by Peter Jones, what does it really offer? What does it contain?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-year course, and the idea is that it mirrors the startup journey of a business, right? So the units that you're taught is almost like following sort of naturally how a business is sort of set up. And I know it's different for everybody, right? It depends on what your skill set is, and it depends on what your interest is. You're as an entrepreneur, you're not necessarily going to be doing everything yourself. You get to a point where you think, you know what, I'm going to outsource the finance side of things and give that to an accountant and things like that. But the course itself teaches you kind of marketing, so you get to develop a marketing campaign for your business. It's about personal and business finance. In previous years it was all just about business finance, but actually personal and business finance, they go hand in hand, because finance is finance. And the great thing about the course, it is really practical. So really my role is to kind of engage with businesses and entrepreneurs and get them to come in. So we host termly business surgeries where we have anything between 6 and 12 business people that come in, and they have one-to-ones with the students, asking them about their business ideas and just giving them some advice, really.
How brilliant is that?
So they do feel quite connected to the business community, and if the students want to, if they really connect with somebody, that person can then mentor them anyway, whilst they're on the course with us. But I think the important thing is that you do, even as a 16-year-old, you're very young, you don't know what you want to do. This is just offering another pathway.
I think it's great, because even if you don't know, you're going to learn so many great things. I've just come back, as I said to you guys, I've just been on a family reunion, so catching up with cousins, and I might if we get a chance, I'll share some of the stuff I picked up. But I think learning about it, even if you're not sure what you want to do yet, at least you've got those skills where you're eventually going to change. And I think with entrepreneurship anyway, like me and you both changed our directions in terms of what we're doing, because I think you're always thinking about whatever I've done takes me onto something else that I want to do. And sometimes it's like, that's not for me. I'll maybe do a little bit of that one now. And that's kind of a bit of, I'm on another transition period at the moment, for example. So.
But I also do believe, sorry for cutting you, that there are elements in a business that will never change regardless the direction you're picking. So learning, those logistics, and those elements important for running business successfully is a very important thing. And when young people are gaining the skill, they can take it into every direction they are going.
Exactly.
So what is happening, for example, they finish this course, it's 2 years.
Yeah, 2-year course, and also it's the equivalent, you get UCAS points.
Yeah.
So it's not set that the business idea, because you come up with a business idea while you're on the course, so you don't have to have an idea and then come to us and then be really solidly, that's the one you're going to develop. Sometimes that changes. In the first year, it's the idea that you're developing, and in the second year looks at the survival and the growth of your business, and in the second year you look at intrapreneurship, which is a word I didn't even know, didn't think it ever existed, but it's about somebody who works for someone else and they're developing their entrepreneurial skills. So it's like you're being an entrepreneur for another organisation.
So that's kind of how I got started with the martial arts.
Right.
Without even knowing about it, really.
Wow.
Just before, because if you're watching, obviously Rupee is based in Leicester, but this is relevant for everybody, and there are other courses like this around the country, is that right?
That's right, Matt. Yeah, so there are about 20 academies across the country, as far down as, I believe, Cornwall, and then as far up as Scotland.
Right.
So it's just about looking to see what's in your area, and if there is, this BTEC course that is offered, then absolutely, go for it. Yeah. There's
always something anyway, so drop a comment, so because we tried to point you in the right direction. I know a few entrepreneurs, like some real high level successful entrepreneurs doing their own type of things anyways. There is so, for young people, there's so much out there, definitely. So I just thought just a bit important, because we might have people from chat. Well, I'm not from Leicester.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
That's a good
But
point.
listen, I'd go and stay up there anyway.
Yeah.
Have the fun, why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. So sorry, I had to just mention about that. So
No.
so it's from ages
16, the core age group I suppose is 16 to 18, because we're sort of, it's that what you do after GCSEs, because it's the equivalent of A-levels.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do the kind of traditional A-level qualification and you want to do something, so BTECs are vocational, and so it's a mix of exams and coursework as well, so it's a mix.
So I'm curious, is that the only alternative to A-levels?
That's a very good question. No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
It isn't. And I'll tell you something, right? And a lot of people don't know about this, but there is a new kid on the block, and they're called T-levels, and that is a technical level qualification. And this is a really big deal, because this is like another qualification, exactly the same level as A-levels, BTECs, and T-levels, and T-levels at some point will phase out BTECs. Right. And T-level, the technical part of that qualification, is very practical, and it's been developed in conjunction with employers. So employers are thinking, well, what do we want this next generation of the workforce to look like? Let's offer young people a qualification that's going to be really practical.
I like that.
I really do like that.
I'm glad you asked me that, because that is it's a big thing, and a lot of parents still don't really know about it. So I know Leicester College are doing a campaign on T-levels, because the other thing to mention is that with BTECs, you go out, part of that is that you've got to do a 1-week work placement with a T-level, and it's actually 45 days. So it's a much longer period that you're spending with either one employer or a couple of employers. And I think that there was an incentive, the government were giving out grants to employers as an incentive to take young people on. I think it was like £1,000 or something.
So similar to the apprenticeship scheme.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit like that, yeah.
A little bit like that.
That's really interesting. I think that's... I was just thinking about sending my boys. I'll sign you up, boys. So
Why
that's
not?
not a bad idea,
Why not?
But now I'm thinking, do you know what? Back home, we've got the type of school that does not give you A-levels, but as you're studying, you're actually studying the subject, the the type of work you're going to be doing. So you get education as well as practical side of
nice.
what's going to be your type of work for the future. So for example, you could be plumber, you could be a mechanic. And we used to look down to this kind of schools because they were not giving you A levels.
Okay.
And they didn't open the door to universities. Where I'm now looking from the perspective of time, it looks like this way of education is better, because if someone is really into, let's say, they want to be a mechanic, right? And they are learning that from a very young age. As soon as they finish the school, they have their skill in their hands, so they can go and work and just master that skill.
And earn money.
Yeah. And this is also type of, type of skill that will always be needed.
Yeah.
As long as we have cars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the same with plumbers and any type of labor like this.
No, absolutely.
So after this, you can still go. But the difference is with this course that
you mean
can,
with the T level
with,
or the?
I don't know about the T levels, but the one that you do with
Yes,
Peter Jones is like it's 2 years course, but you can still apply and go to university.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you get your UCAS points. It's the equivalent of 3 A levels as well. So yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So I think it's like 1.5 A levels per year, the equivalent of, I could be wrong, and you just need 5 GCSEs grades 4 and above, including maths and English. You do definitely, because you've got to be able to write the coursework, and it is level 3, and it is of a particular standard.
If there's, say, I don't know if you can answer this, so if they say there's 1 grade out or just a little bit off, is there room for manoeuvre?
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
I think if the person that you're interviewing and who is applying really does have something about them.
Because some people, sorry, because I know some exams stress me out, so their coursework could be like top notch, but the exam is like
Yeah.
With the pandemic, a lot of like some people doing their A levels now didn't sit exams for GCSEs.
No, exactly.
So it's like this is a bit of a new.
Yeah, it is.
We're in a bit like new territory in a way.
It is absolutely, and there, I mentioned there are exams, and there are some pretty hefty exams in the first year.
Yeah.
And then I think there's another 1 or 2 in the second year. But the coursework's great because the questions.
I'm not saying it sounds easy, but it sounds like really hands-on, and that makes life easier, I think.
Yeah. You get good training while you're on the course but it is very much about mindset. It's about you've got to, even as a 16-year-old, fresh out of GCSEs, sometimes we get students that have done a year of A levels and it's just not for them.
Yeah.
You do have to have something about you to really get the most out of it. There are so many opportunities because once you're linked with the business community, you also get you just through networking.
Yeah.
So as a 16-year-old, you're in a room full of business people. That is your opportunity to really make yourself shine. And through those conversations, so many opportunities can come up. And that's what we're about. We're about putting you in front of many different people and seeing where sparks fly in a good way.
Yeah, and I think being around other business owners as well as a young person, because they're going to see something in you. And and I think
they spot the potential.
They spot that potential, and you're going to get that. It's going to lead on to other things, definitely, isn't it?
And also, sometimes the business mentors can see a side to the students that, as teachers, I mean, I'm not a teacher; I'm part of the teaching team. But I've had conversations with mentors. I'm like, are we talking about the same student? Because this student has come alive, talking to the business person about the business idea, and yet when they're in the classroom, they perhaps don't come across that way.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
So there must be like a gel or something, and they probably see something in themselves. I imagine.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Are those people who are teaching on the course are entrepreneurs themselves?
No. So. No, they're not. Actually, no, one of them is. One of them does have her own side hustle.
Okay.
She does, yeah. But the other teachers don't, no.
But I'd say if it's Peter Jones's Academy, I guess he's very much quite selective on who's teaching his stuff, right?
No, it's we're all, we're affiliated to the Peter Jones Foundation.
Yeah.
And so, we're part of the network. And then, we have a graduation ceremony every year, which is really amazing. It's like a one-day enterprise festival, but it's very much left to each of the own academies to do their own recruitment.
Yeah.
There isn't like a set thing in stone at all. It really, you run it how you want to run it.
Yeah. But I like the fact that you've got business owners coming in.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's really important.
It keeps it alive, and even on a wider scale, in the college and in the role that I do, it's looking at the success of how young people respond to that interaction. We have like a really brilliant employer engagement program, which I kind of manage, and I help support other people to kind of bring in guest speakers. But we have a target of, we've got something like 1,150 students in the curriculum area that I'm based in, and each of those students, have a target of like 4 employer encounters throughout the academic year. So 1 per term, and then like a little sort of Brucey bonus as well, because it is about them interacting with people that are not part of the college. You can be a really passionate teacher delivering some really great work, but actually it's about bringing in specialists as well that support a particular unit that's being taught, and they can really add some real life colour to it, because it's someone else doing it, not you, because you're seeing the same students day in, day out. But for those guest speakers that are coming in, they get really excited about talking about whatever topic the students are being taught, and they can bring in their own sort of vibe.
I think we do, though, as entrepreneurs. It's exciting, and I'd love to see other people thriving. So I think from my own point of view, if you can give something back, because it's hard. So if you can make it a bit easier for someone else, and I say it's hard, but it's probably not as hard as the person that went before me and mentored me. Harder for them.
But this is not about building community as well, People
definitely
are actually exchanging their experiences, and they're helping one another, so then you don't feel like, because it can be a very lonely place.
I was just going to say,
it can be.
It can be.
And if you're part of a nice community, like I always say heart-centered community, it's just so much easier to create and bring your ideas, to full fruition, especially when you're surrounded with people who've got the same mindset. Right.
Well, that's really important, and I think you said it as well. It's like you become the people you surround yourself with. So, like, if you've got some quirky idea, or your child, probably not a child really anymore, but you know what I mean. So, if there's something you kind of feels a bit entrepreneurial about them, I think it's worth signing them up to it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
They're not like, I got something, but I don't know what it is, or I feel a bit different. I couldn't get on with, because I've obviously worked out that as soon as I started doing what I loved, that's it. I want to learn, I want to consume it, and because it's something I'm passionate about, then it worked for me, and I've haven't got a time machine yet.
Working on it, aren't
Next night, though.
Do you remember when we had this conversation about entrepreneurship and business? And I was like, we are living in times where there is so many options out there, right? To a point that you can almost turn anything into a business. Yeah. Right? So it can be overwhelming as well, right? Yeah. So what do you think would be very important, to focus on when you are actually facing the vastness of possibilities? And obviously you've got this great course that will help you to set foundation, into a business. What do you think? What else would be important?
Well, we talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And it was a brilliant conversation, because it kind of came down to, we talked about the kind of health and well-being of young people and stress management. And when you said that. And, then you were talking about how, when you can handle stress, or when you've got tips and techniques to be able to handle stress, then anything is possible. And I think that's the important thing, isn't it?
Do you think this could ever become like a part of the course like this?
Yeah, I think it should. Absolutely.
Definitely think it should, as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Like, the stress stuff can really creep up on you. And then you're having to manage it. Yeah. Like, you're spinning plates, or you're putting out fires. Yeah.
Or you feel that you can't talk to anyone about it. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest one, So, and I think this is why I like this, because I don't know if you just said it, Angg, but being in that network of young, you're starting that network up, like from the beginning, whereas coming into business, let's say, even if you're my age, or 35, did I say? 35.
No, you were like 20 something.
25, yeah. I'm 18 at heart. My hip says something else, but we don't listen to my hip. I'm going to jump kick this bag, and I don't care. Anyway, so I've lost my train of thought now. Get it back. What was I saying?
I don't know. I'm just.
This always happens.
Well.
Yes, when you come in the network,
community,
so when you're at network, you come in a bit later. So, I think, when you're younger, I think it's a great place to start. Because you've been around like those that have done it. You're building up your community at a younger age, rather than have to build it up later on.
Yeah.
It's not saying it's difficult, but
You want
put
it
it
to
off,
feel.
basically.
You want it to feel organic as well.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
if you feel supported, if you feel part of something at the age of 16, and that's what it's about, isn't it? It's helping young people to feel that they're not on their own. And even as grown-ups, we still need to feel connected. And I think certainly the pandemic, was very lonely, wasn't it? Because we were all just, even now when I'm I'm out and about, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's just so nice to be part of civilization, to be part of, a community of human beings. So I think, the stress management side of things for young people is something that, because it feeds into that kind of mindfulness and the mental health, which has affected so many people, not just young people, since the pandemic. So we've got a lot of work on our hands.
We do.
We really do.
we do.
What I'm going to mention as well, because many people hear just the concept of well-being and why, and that is important. But the question is, why is it important for entrepreneurs and business people? Simply because when we are in a stressed state of mind, we are unable to create. And our business is based on our creativity.
Yeah.
So the more creative we are, the better we are at business. So it is crucial for us to manage stress, otherwise we won't be able to come up with the great solutions, great ideas. We will be, our body will suffer, our relationships will suffer, and obviously, building any type of business is about improving your own life and the life of those who you care for, right? So if running business costs you health and well-being, everybody will suffer, not only you, not only your business, but everybody around you.
Yeah, of course.
So you have to really take care of the stress, you have to really just take care of number one.
Yeah.
If you want to put out and create what you wanted to create in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like putting the rotten fruit in the healthy fruit bowl. It's going to spread out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, definitely.
But it is important that, and every, the high level entrepreneurs I know that, well, it's about managing your time, because you can, no offense to anyone that's working in whatever you work in a normal job, that's what you've chosen to do, but you may find you're working all hours because the salary's not going to be enough, so you need the overtime. Yeah. So you're in just in a different rat race.
Yeah, it is.
And with the entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur, business owner, there's times when it's been difficult. But generally, my ethos is, really about time management. I've really learned that for the reasons that you've just said, because it has affected other parts of my life in the past. But having that taught is so important, I think, especially if you're getting at a young age. Yeah. Because coming in it blindish like I did, you got to work stuff out the hard way, but it's all been great lessons.
But sometimes that is the only way to learn.
It is,
I mean? Because I think if you're too prescriptive as well, and then it just, I think we have to expose young people to the different tools and tips of having to manage that, but that could be done either through getting you guys in front of the students, so either like on a Teams call or something like that.
That'd be great, definitely.
We have learning coaches as well within the college, in their role specifically, they have like 1 hour sessions a week where they also kind of facilitate and look at the kind of the personal and social development of the students as well. So there's lots of kind of different ways that we can kind of bring that in. I think it's really important. I think we have to shake up how we've done things and move forwards.
Wow. I love that. I really do love that.
That's a mic drop there.
It was. It kind of was, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh my God.
That's amazing. That is really amazing.
We do.
So we are heading towards creating this balance, because even though we know about entrepreneurship and business, all of the possibilities and the stress assigned to it, now we are aware of the importance of creating balance in life, regardless what you do, because some people might be creating their own business, having the side hustle, like you said earlier,
that's it. Yeah,
and thrive on it.
yeah,
And there are people who are actually catching every possible opportunity just to make the ends meet,
yes,
right?
yeah,
And the question is, what makes those two different? Is the stress management and ability to access the best ideas and solutions.
yeah,
So if this can be thrown into the educational system and they can put the pressure on it, pressure in the sense of, because good level of pressure is always good for your growth, right?
Yeah.
But it is about
controlled pressure. Yeah.
So if you just put it in the program and make people understand that taking care of yourself is a very important part of your business.
Yeah.
Very important part of your life, because your business in the end of the day is you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you take good care of yourself, you automatically taking good care of your business, and that makes you successful.
Yeah, definitely. But we get a lot of young people who show real promise and real potential, and then life gets in the way, and then personal lives can get, they've got stuff going on with families or whatever it is, and then they just become sort of disengaged because they've just got too much going on. So how do you handle that? And if they don't want support, if they just don't want help, then it's really hard to kind of make them see that, look, actually we are here for you. Just communicate with us. We've always ever said, if you've got anything going on, or just talk to us and we'll do what we can to help you, because that's our goal at the end of the day.
I know sort of entrepreneurial relationship coaches.
Yeah.
Come in and do a talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess the thing with the employer engagement is, there's nothing worse than just dropping a guest talk on a group of students. They have no idea who this person is. They don't know how it's related to their development or their course. So it's also about making sure that the students know in good time they've got so-and-so coming in to see them. So what's it going to give them, right? And then similarly, if it were you guys, I said to you guys, right, in a couple of weeks' time, you're going to be talking to a group of students, and this is the course that they're studying. This is what they're currently being taught. So you guys would be great in talking to them about X, Y, Z. So then you know who you're going to see. The students know who they're going to see. Hopefully the two will marry up beautifully, and then we get kind of feedback at the end of it.
Brilliant.
And that's the thing, because I really don't like just saying, right, so, I booked someone in to come and talk to some students, and they don't know, and you don't know, and it's just pointless.
Yeah.
There's got to be respect on kind of both sides, because the students have to understand that
definitely.
this is going to be so great, you know what I mean?
And this is great opportunity for business owners and entrepreneurs, just to get into a educational system and share their experience and expertise and help young generations to move forward.
Definitely. And a lot of people really want to give. They're like, oh my God, I'd really love to talk to young people about
I know
some of our... amazing.
Connect you up with them.
That would be so cool. I'd love that.
And I do also believe that sharing your own hardships with, your own business, how you overcame them, is such a powerful message. Yeah. Especially for those who are just stepping into this world. If they can have this awareness plugged into their mind already, that those people who are successful now, it wasn't all just like rainbows, just and daisies. It was hard at the beginning. So if they've been through it and they came out on the other side, and we're going to experience the same thing, at least we know we can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like some sort of assurance.
Yeah,
like
because
it's all going to be good.
Because it's not even about, we're telling you this because we don't want you to make the same mistake. No. You have to make whatever mistake you're going to make. Yeah. You're going to make it. But why not hear from someone who's made a similar mistake and hear how they dealt with it? Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
Always a way.
There was a very smart person saying this once, and I just remembered ever since. I don't remember who it was, but it was very smart. They said, mistake is just mistake. Which means
that was me.
Take it again.
Take
again.
You've
mistaken. Yes. Take it again.
You missed. Yeah. Did you say that? Did you come up with that?
Yeah, I can't.
No, you did not.
You said it was a smart person. I just automatically assumed it must be me.
It was anonymous outer. That's what it was.
I was saying you can't have two mic drops in the same session. That would just be too much.
I can drop a hammer.
Oh, sorry. Smash on my knee.
So.
Yeah, and also, it's really funny because sometimes when I'm booking in guest speakers, I tend to think that the ones that are really dynamic and just really larger than life. They're really going to connect with students, and sometimes it's actually the ones that are really quite laid back and maybe quite softly spoken who really connect with the students. Because sometimes I think, oh my God, you know, I really hope this person's going to be as great as I think they're going to be, and I'm worried that, you know, the students are going to be like, oh God, who's this person? But sometimes, you know, so for those entrepreneurs and business people out there who want to talk to students, you don't have to have any experience at all in speaking to young people. We just have a chat and make sure you're happy with what you're going to be talking about, and we just got to go from there.
And probably that much at peace with what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely. So
but I think it's good you said that, because you may have like an idea of an entrepreneur, it's in your head, isn't it? Oh, they've got to be like this, and you go
exactly.
But
sometimes the ones that are just really chilled out, and I'm thinking, oh no, come on, let's G it up a bit. And they don't need to, because when I look at the feedback at the end of the session, I'm like, oh my God, this was a real hit with the students. You know, and a lot of people always say, you know what, if it's just one person, if there is one student that I've said something and it just resonates, oh my God, that is good enough for me.
It's thumbs up. Wow, so exciting, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's really good.
So what is the formal way of signing up for this course? Going back, you know?
Just going to ask that.
Great minds. So you just basically go onto the Leicester College website and then just kind of put enterprise into the kind of the search engine. I think the course code is C0475 for the Leicester College course, but obviously in order for people to see where these courses are being taught across the country, just visit the Peter Jones Foundation website and then just have a look at what they offer, and then the Peter Jones Enterprise Academy comes up, and just have a look at the map and then click on, you know, where the academies are, and hopefully there'll be one near you.
Wow, there'll be something anyway. Even if there's always a way.
Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing.
Wow. I'm so glad we did this.
I'm glad too.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think good to get you on again.
Thank you guys.
All right. So thank you for give a share. If you know a young person getting their results soon, or this may resonate with them, doesn't matter where they are in the world, in the universe or the Wooniverse. Because it's something in there is gonna spark something, ignite something.
Do you know there is a sharing is caring, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Even though it might not resonate with you directly, there might be someone who you know who will really appreciate knowing that. Because if I was a teenager at this point, I would love to know about the possibilities and options available for me. Because in the world of confusion, because we are so confused right now, because there's so many, there's, like I said earlier, vastness of possibilities. And you need to have some sort of direction. And if you can surround yourself with people who are doing really well with that vastness, then you're basically setting yourself for the success. And every parent, I do believe, want their kids to be successful,
of course,
and happy.
So
share it, and just let them.
I think it's been one of our most important episodes of this season, definitely, for sure.
So far.
Amazing. Such a good message.
So much. Thank you,
all
guys.
Right. And don't forget, 5-star review if you're listening on...
Only 5.
Only 5. If there was 6, we'd put 6, but it's 5. Do it twice, that's 10. Do it 11 times, that's 11. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Same in a Power Podcast time, same in a podcast channel.